everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Leavecast. I am joined by my co-hosts, Beef,
Hello.
and I'm also joined by my other co-host, Cable.
Hi, how's it going?
So today we're going to talk about just kind of what's happening in gaming. I want to open with Elden Ring because Elden Ring, I've just haven't had the time to get into it, and then I tried 3 hours of it, and it's all I'm thinking about lately.
Have you started it yet, Beef?
No, sadly, I got sucked into Lost Ark.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But
I
I've heard a similar story of Leaves from all of my friends.
Yeah, it definitely sucks you in. Like it's just such a good diversion from what you expect from Souls without changing too much.
yeah, no, I agree. I played it on release night, and then I played it the following like 2 weeks, and I beat it. And I've since started two new playthroughs. One on PS5, one on PC, and it
Wow.
looks beautiful on PC on higher settings. It looks amazing. And I'm so happy with it.
I mean, I would want to ask real quick, as someone who was worried about the PC issues on release,
Yep.
if they've been like remedied enough to make it worth it.
So for me, I do have. It hasn't crashed on me, but it has like maybe a few stutters every now and then.
That's nothing, I think.
Yeah, and I'm playing on a 1070 Ti, and I know James has a 3070, right?
3080, but even I get those stutters. I actually thought those stutters were exclusive to RTX cards, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Then
I mean,
again,
how bad is it for you, James?
oh, it's super rare. Like it's only when there's like intense stuff happening, like if it's like raining and I'm in a boss fight at the same time, and even then it's like it's noticeable but not horrible.
Yeah.
Okay. I would definitely buy it on PC then. I was worried I would have to shell out for a PS5 to play it.
Yeah, well,
That sounds fine.
when mods come, like, the kinds that are like Daughter of Ash, because, I guarantee that Elden Ring is going to have a big modding community. You're going to want that PC port, right?
True.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, it's not like kind of gated towards higher end graphics cards. I mean, like we said, Cable's playing with a 10 series card. I'm playing with a 30 series card. I'm pretty sure some people are even playing with 9 series cards.
That would be me if I played it.
Yeah, you should be fine.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Well,
I
then
can
I'll definitely
play
pick it
the
up
game.
as soon as I can.
I can play the game fine, and it runs fine on high settings. If I put it on maximum, it does suffer some more, but on just high, it runs fine.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of games now that they're either old or they're new but developed on like 10 series Nvidia cards or just on AMD, and it's like it's either it runs like crap on the RTX or it's like kind of gate locked behind RTX in terms of performance. Because I heard Elden Ring was worse at launch. Maybe they fixed that since. But Lego Star Wars, like it performs hellish in some levels on RTX cards, but if you play with non-RTX cards or AMD cards, those same levels perform amazingly.
I wish I started Lego Star Wars before we did this because, Leave gifted it to me, and I have not started it because Elden Ring.
Yeah, and that's the same reason I haven't started Elden Ring because I've been busy with Lego Star Wars. Yeah,
Blame you guys. They're both gems.
they are. They are. As I keep going through Lego Star Wars, like maybe it's just because sequel trilogies, and that's where I am right now. But it is starting to wear thinner. I like the mission variety because lots of like the puzzles and missions are actually like really varied and cool. But like space combat is just such a breath of fresh air compared to old Legos. Like it genuinely feels like you're playing space combat from one of the newer Battlefront games.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
I don't remember the old ones, the super old ones, being very varied at all. I remember it being pretty samey. Maybe I'm wrong.
Like the older Lego games, right?
Yeah, the classic Lego games.
Oh yeah, like they were
I
like,
remember Lego Star Wars specifically. I know I played that one.
yeah, like it was like a top down, like you just, left stick moved your ship around and you just shot, and occasionally you'd have to like put a tow cable on a detonator or something and then like tow it
Yeah, the
towards.
puzzles were just like super shallow level, not like Zelda level puzzles.
Yeah. And these ones are definitely like more complicated. But like
Nice.
space combat definitely, I feel like it wears thin because like on one hand, each ship has a different shooting speed and different damage output. So it's like if you play as the ship, remember the ship from the beginning of A New Hope that Leia and 3PO and R2 are all on?
It's the classic like intro where the gigantic ship and the camera's under it. That one.
Yeah, exactly. So the little white ship, that one shoots slow as all hell, but it's a one-hit kill.
Cool.
Yeah. But that's about as deep as the space combat gets. Like, other than that, occasionally enemies will like they'll start to target a missile at you, and you'll have like a solid 10 seconds to do a barrel roll, which makes the missile unlock from your ship, which like I'm not expecting like crazy amounts, but it does start to wear thin with how often you're doing ship combat in Lego games, or in this Lego game,
And
sorry.
you can do a barrel roll in that gigantic flat ship.
You can do a barrel roll on everything. Every ship you can barrel roll.
The poor crew, man. The people like on the edges of that ship are gonna get severe motion sickness or something.
Yeah, for real.
It's kind of reminding me of like I immediately thought of the gummy ships from Kingdom Hearts, and then I thought it was sounding like Star Fox multiplayer aerial combat. If anyone played that.
I've never played Star Fox, but I've always wanted to. It's just like it's one of the few Nintendo series I've never touched.
I mean, the one that I played on GameCube, Star Fox Adventures, was like really, really bad. The story was at least, but the multiplayer was incredible.
Mm. 4-player or just 2?
4 player, and you had like a land ship, an airship, and I forget the third vehicle. But the airship is just like the Star Fox that you already know. You're on like the spaceship missions, and you're shooting stuff and dodging, and doing barrel rolls and all that.
Yeah, I really have to get into Star Fox one of these days. Be able to put like
I think one of the new ones is really good. I can't remember what the reception was.
The two newest
That's a
ones
really fun
are
game.
Star Fox Guard and Star Fox Zero, and I know one of them is reviewed horribly, but I think it's just because it's on the Wii U.
I think the Wii U one was reviewed horribly. Yeah,
They were both on the Wii
I
U.
remember a flop, and then one came out. Oh, what? I thought one came out on the Switch very recently.
No, Switch just still doesn't have a Star Fox game other than Starlink, but Starlink is like it's available on all consoles, but I think there's Star Fox content exclusively on the Nintendo version.
All right, that's sad. I'm sad that there's
Tell
no
me-
entry point.
Tell me if I'm wrong here. Didn't they announce a new Star Fox game to come out on Switch?
I don't think so.
Did they not? I thought they did.
I'm gonna Google it for everybody.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't. Other than like maybe like Nintendo 64, like the emulation through Switch Online.
That might be what I'm thinking about actually.
Yeah,
That's
because
really likely.
I think it's on N64 Online now. I'd be shocked if it wasn't.
I went over to my friend's house and he had it on his whatever Switch shop.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Speaking of shops, Sonic Origins release is a friggin' mess.
Yeah, you've been talking about that. Can you explain that? Because I don't super understand it.
Right. So I'm just gonna pull up the webpage really quick just so I can get all my accurate. So comes out on June 23rd, and the concept of it is Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles. Seemingly you cannot play them separate. That isn't confirmed, but it seems that that's how it is, and there is very little, but there is some content that is exclusive to Sonic 3 if you play it separately from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And you can play as Knuckles in every game except for CD. So basically in all the games you can play as Sonic and Tails, and all the games except for CD you play as Knuckles. So with the base game, you get the base game. And then there's some free DLC, and that free DLC includes bonus coins, because there's like coins used to unlock different modes. similar to how the Monkey Ball remake did it. Mirror mode,
Um,
which is unlockable in the game, but if you get the DLC, which again is free, you unlock it right away. And then letterbox backgrounds, which so if you're playing the game in 4:3 mode, because they did upscale the game or make the game so you can play them in 16:9, which is really cool. You just get different additional backgrounds. But then there's the premium fun pack. So about a $5 pack, give or take, depending on if you're in Canada or the US. And this includes exclusive hard missions, because there's a mission mode in the game, other letterbox backgrounds, and here are the big ones. Character animation in the main menu. So I'm imagining that's Sonic will not wave unless you pay the $5 for the premium fun pack. Camera controls over the main menu islands. So there are islands to represent each game, and if you do not buy the premium fun pack, you cannot use the right stick to turn and zoom around the island, which is like, really? You're charging for this? And it says there's also music islands, so I assume when you go to listen to music, there'll be like an island or something from the respective game, or maybe the zone, who knows. And it says character animations during music islands is also locked behind that. So again, I think Sonic's not going to wave at you or dance or who knows unless you pay that $5. And then there's the classic music pack, which I think is less. It's probably $3, but it could be another full 5. And it's additional music tracks from Sonic Spinball and Knuckles Chaotix.
Okay, yeah, that does sound super scummy.
Yep.
It sounds like they could be like skimming off the top and then like reselling it back to you. But
Yeah.
like a question I have is, like, were those things in the original games, the animations?
Well, that's the thing. So it's in the outside menu because the original games are all from, Sega Genesis,
Oh,
right?
okay. They're skimming off the top.
Yeah. Like the fact that they're locking
Yeah.
the right stick behind a $5 paywall, like are you kidding? Like it's the camera stick.
That's really dumb.
Yeah.
That part's dumb, but the animations, I was like, maybe if they were like, it wasn't in the original games and they're spicing it up, and then like that might be okay. But
The only
the fact that they
thing
just made their own menus and they're selling, yeah, they're taking stuff away and selling it back to you is.
Yeah, the only thing in the premium fun pack, which horrible name by the way, that actually affects gameplay is the hard missions. So there are missions, but I guess there are harder versions that you can only get by buying the premium fun pack, which okay, $3 for I don't know, let's say 10 missions, right? $3 for 10 missions? Sure. You can get away with it. No problem, right? But all of the other stuff does not add up to that additional $2. Like it's literally such an expected thing to get out of a game. Like why
Yeah.
why would you even charge for it? Like I guarantee if they would make more sales if they just included the hard missions for the same price but didn't include all this other stuff.
To me, it's like if Dark Souls made you pay like $2 for the music in the title screen or something. Like,
Yeah, exactly. That is the
what it
exact
feels like to
concept.
me. I think no one takes stuff out of their game.
Yeah, it really feels like Sega was like, we need 5 things to put in the Digital Deluxe Edition DLC pack. So you find 5 things and get back to us, okay? And they just had such a hard time finding stuff because, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna take out the spin dash? Like, what are you gonna do? And like honestly, it would have been a better play if they made mirror mode a DLC because I don't think many people are looking forward to mirror mode. Like I hate to say it, like you're just instead of walking from right to left, or sorry, from left to right, you're walking from right to left. And if you took that out and made it DLC, put it with the hard missions, and put everything else back in, I think people would be so much happier to pay that $5. But just because of the nature of the stuff that's included, like I can't see. Well, not even I can't see. People are all over Twitter saying that it's really stupid.
That's what you get with shareholders, and maybe I'm just being a pessimist, but like, I have a feeling it's just like we need to make this much money, and like selling the game alone, projected numbers, whatever, aren't enough. So we got to stretch our profits just that much more.
Well,
Sega releases
Sega releases have been doing this whole thing where it's like okay, you have the base and then you have the digital deluxe edition, like two versions always, like all of the releases, like Monkey Ball, Shin Megami Tensei 3 HD Remaster, Persona 5 Strikers,
Wait, did you
even
say SMT3 HD remaster?
yep, so with the deluxe edition you get the Maniacs content, which is,
That's coming
Dante.
out.
It's already out. It's
It's
been
out.
Oh, well, I'm a doofus.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
Nocturne.
Oh yeah, it's Nocturne.
yeah, so Shin Megami Tensei 3 base edition, you get the base game that came out in Japan translated into English. So everything in the digital deluxe edition, which is like I think $25 more expensive in US. Canadian, it's almost $30 more expensive. But it's Dante stuff that replaces Raidu. Um, other background music from other Shin Megami Tensei games. And also the Mercy and Expectation map pack, which I
It's
think these,
grinding maps.
yeah,
Power leveling stuff.
yeah, and like,
They like to do that.
okay, like it's a really old game, so I'm not happy about it, especially since it costs so much. But
Yeah.
take Persona 4 Golden, like that's like that's just like such a better way to. I don't understand how the two games are even comparable, honestly, because they came out around the same time, and HD
Persona
remastered.
4 Golden?
Yeah, Persona 4. How is Persona 4 Golden a
Persona 4
quarter?
Golden came out in 2012. Nocturne was 2003.
It came out in 2012.
Yeah, Google it right now.
That
I think
wasn't
the
the.
PC port came out very recently, but Golden came out.
Sorry,
on
I said Golden.
PlayStation.
I meant base Persona 4.
Okay, that was 2008.
Okay. 5-year difference, but it's like triple the price for SMT3. You know what I'm saying? Like a newer game is cheaper that roughly received the same treatment.
Yeah, I mean,
But let's
I don't get it.
digital deluxe edition of Persona 4 Golden. As far as I'm aware, actually here, it'll tell me. Digital art book, a digital soundtrack. And it's an extra $5.
Yeah, in US, I believe it retailed for 20 bucks.
Yeah. Yeah, in Canada it's like 24, but like yeah, like I just round down roughly another $5 or $10 to get the US price. Yeah, but that's fine because like I think it's really easy to decide like if you're a hardcore Persona fan, you'll pay the extra $5 for the digital deluxe edition, and otherwise you're just paying $20. But how the hell is Shin Megami Tensei 3 I think 60 US, maybe no, 55 US, and the deluxe edition is $80 US.
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm a bigger fan of SMT mainline than Persona, but like SMT 3 should not have been 60 bucks.
Yeah, I was disappointed with how little remastering they did. And there were also I remember there was an issue with the soundtrack
Yeah.
in the port.
Yep.
And that's just like apart from not adding anything to the original experience, they actually like messed up importing something from the original experience. So they detracted from the experience really, or close to, which is sad for how much more they're charging for it than what it cost back then.
Yeah, and I really like how because we never got the version with Rido, the Maniacs version, that never came out in the West. So it is nice to finally have that, but it should have retailed for at most 30 bucks, but I think it should have still went for that $20 that Golden went for.
Yeah, the difference in price it's just insane. But this is like what Sega's doing right now. They did a survey recently, and I just said like I don't like the new Sega pretty much because it's the same format, and like anyone who knows anything about marketing, like even just a little bit, can see the pattern because it's the same thing. Base game and then digital deluxe edition, which is fine, but it depends on the content. Because like Monkey Ball was like I'd say that was fair. I got a bunch of new characters, which is really cool. But you're gonna lock camera controls behind a $5 paywall? Like, is it a joke or like what the hell? Like, yeah, it's I hope that they kind of curve away from it. But yeah, I don't know. Sonic Frontiers seems like it could be promising, but it's hard to be worse than Sonic Forces, 'cause Sonic Forces was just like people like the character creation, but that was just about it. Like the gameplay was worse than Generations and Colors. But I think open world Sonic could work really well because you know, people will rant and rave about these fan games where it's like physics based and you gain a lot of speed by like rolling down a hill, for example. Whereas in Generations, it's like if you're holding the square button, you're going the same speed no matter if you're going uphill or downhill.
Dude, I think that sounds so cool. Imagine like an open world that's almost like a giant skate park.
Yeah,
That sounds
exactly.
awesome.
Yeah, my only gripe is that from what we've seen so far, it literally just looks like the overworld of Breath of the Wild.
Oh, please, please don't.
Although there was a leak, and I don't like to put too much stock in these things. However, from what I've gathered, it was posted a couple of days before the Sonic Origins reveal, and it got everything but the Sonic Origins reveal right. So part of that was talking about how I believe it was Sonic, Tails, and Shadow are all playable. I think it said that there was a desert zone. Yeah, there was a. They said specifically there was a zone that felt a lot like the desert zone from Sonic 06 visually, which that was a really cool looking level. A lot of Sonic 06 looks cool despite the execution. But something else is what's the studio that makes Yakuza again, Cable?
Uh, Ru God Gotoku or something like that.
So RGGS for short, because I know that's like their shorthand. They're making a Jet Set Radio remake or a new game.
I thought I saw the trailer for that game. If it's the same game, it looks awesome. I'm a big Jet Set Radio fan.
You're probably thinking of there's two fan games, but the bigger one is I think it's Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, I think.
I saw it in like the VGA Awards. I think there was a trailer during the VGA Awards or VGA rather.
I think that would have been Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, but I'm not 100%. Like I will I will link this. You guys can take.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, like it looks really cool, and it seems that they're going to implement bikes too, which is really awesome. That you're not just limited to skate.
Nice. Some character diversity.
Yeah, for sure. I always liked that about the original Jet Set Radio too, because it always felt like everybody was so vastly just in terms of the character selection. Like everybody looked really different.
Yeah, they have style down. The character design was really exceptional.
Yeah, Jet Set Radio had a sequel on the Xbox, I think in like 2005 or so, that like didn't sell well. But I really hope that one day they look into porting or remaking it. Porting is probably the more likely scenario, but I think just on the Xbox might be a bit of a challenge because it didn't come out on anything else.
I mean, the games hold up like fairly well now.
Yeah, they're all right.
I played it only like a few years ago, and I really loved it.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, I played Jet Set Radio sometime last year, and it's the controls take some time to get used to, but like once you get it, it feels good, but it has its fair share of clunkiness. But then again, the original came out in 1999, and they didn't change any of the physics in the remaster. So I'm not angry about it or anything.
I just don't know if like if maybe it's not a game that's worth remastering because it's good enough as a port. That's what I'm getting at, I guess.
Yeah, well, I've never played the sequel to know. Like the first one was like, I think if they ever remade it, because I'm not sure if it's a new game or a remake. If they ever remade it, the only thing I would like them to change is like kind of what happens if you bump into a wall, because it kind of feels like it takes like a full second or two to recover after you like lightly bump into a wall in the original game.
I remember that a little bit.
Yep. Something else in the leak that Cable will be excited about. New Yakuza game.
Oh, really?
Yep.
What is it?
I gotta play one of those. Man.
Just the next numbered game, because I think it would be 9, right? I just said the number, but I don't remember what it was. But 9, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Like a Dragon was 8, right? It wasn't a spin-off?
Correct.
Okay.
Actually, no, Yakuza. It was Yakuza 7. Was
Like a Dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so this would be Yakuza 8.
Is Yakuza GTA Japanese GTA, or is it more of a
No, no, it has very light GTA elements, but it's not GTA. It's more comparable to, geez,
It's an RPG, right? At its core.
yeah, so Like a Dragon is a literal turn-based RPG, but the rest of the series, the other, 8
Oh
games,
wow.
are not like that. They're kind of beat 'em ups,
Okay.
with like a ton of mini games, but they're
3D beat 'em
fantastic
ups.
games.
That
Huh?
reminds me of Shenmue, I guess. Like
Actually,
3D beat 'em ups with puzzles and stuff.
yeah, no, they're pretty comparable to Shinmu.
Okay.
Um, but Like a Dragon is an actual turn-based with job classes from Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest.
I might play that one.
It was amazing.
I've needed a good turn-based JRPG kick. I
Yeah,
haven't played one in a long time.
no, I definitely do recommend Like a Dragon, and it's if you have Game Pass for PC, it's on there, so you can just subscribe to Game Pass for like
Oh, okay.
the $15 or whatever and get it from there.
Oh, cool. That's a nice tip. Yeah, action
I
games kind of burn my brain out after a while.
I
It's
have the
a
rest of
long
the
time.
Sega leak.
Okay.
Yeah. So the rest of it here. So the same studio that is apparently making the new Jet Set Radio and Yakuza 8 is also making Virtua Fighter 6. Apparently, Kuryu from Yakuza is going to be playable, and it just says here the graphics look insane. Sonic.
And that's for Yakuza 8.
No, that's for
Virtual Fighter.
Yeah, Virtua Fighter. For Yakuza 8, it says just some screens of cutscenes in the game. Ichiban is strolling around the city again. The graphics look insane.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, the Dragon Engine, which is what all of their new games use, it's fucking amazing. Like, it looks way better than even Capcom's RE engine.
Yeah, I would say that's
Oh,
definitely
wow.
a competitor. I don't know about better. I'd have to play more Like a Dragon or any Like a Dragon to know because I've only seen very little. Um, Sonic the Hedgehog 5, which makes me say, huh, like,
That's a new release. That's not a reboot.
see, that's what makes me think like this is like a joke, right? Because like again, don't take this leak to heart, but that is like they made a Sonic 4 and it did awful, like really awful. Like it was not. They made two Sonic 4s. It was like Episode 1, Episode 2, and
Oh god.
Episode 1 was awful. Episode 2 was good. It was just good. Our friend Primrose enjoys it significantly. Um, Also here, Persona 4 Golden for Switch, PS4, and Xbox.
I've heard that
Nice.
heavily rumored here in the past like few months.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about it, but I think it's definitely something people want. PC port came out, and people are like, get it everywhere. It's definitely easier to port probably than 5.
Yeah. And I would
But
love that on Switch a lot.
yeah, 5 on Switch would be amazing. Definitely open up a lot of new audiences.
I mean that too, yeah. But I'll probably most likely get 4G on Switch.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. What else? It's saying that there's skins of movie Sonic, movie Tails, and Knuckles for Sonic Frontier, and that in Sonic Frontiers, Sonic will be able to equip different shoes and different gloves. And the last thing is Mario and Sonic at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games with apparently really impressive graphics compared to the last entry.
Switch HD leak confirmed.
It's getting to be about that time. Like, when did OLED come out? I gotta look it up again.
Was it last year?
Yeah, late last year.
Yeah.
Feels longer, but like,
Yeah, I was surprised it was that close.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got at least an announcement this year because honestly, the only reason I haven't bought an OLED and like traded my Switch in for an OLED is I'm waiting for the OLED Pro. I really believe there will be a Switch Pro, because the new 3DS, I believe it sold well. Like when they made the new 2DS, that is what like sold a lot, if I recall correctly, because it was cheap, but you're also able to play the new exclusive games, which I think there was like 20 of them, but like Xenoblade 3D was one of them, so people were like popping off about having Xenoblade on the go.
I
Um,
did buy a new 2DS XL myself, so yeah.
did you end up using it a lot?
Uh, not a ton, but I used it um enough. And I mean, it was cheap. I think it was like $150.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, yeah, I bought a new 3DS XL as well. For like 190 Canadian, so maybe like 150 US, 160.
Oh boy.
Um, and it was like the Super Nintendo themed one, which is really cool. But like, yeah, I didn't really like the knob on the on like the, you guys know what I'm talking about, like what would essentially
Yeah.
be the right stick.
Yep.
It really uncomfortable to use. Didn't even feel like it worked right half the time. Um, cool that it's there, I guess, but I would never want to play a game that heavily relied on it. Like, I would love to try Binding of Isaac on 3DS, but using that stick to shoot sounds like hell.
I didn't even know that Binding of Isaac was on 3DS.
It's a new 3DS exclusive, and that's why, because like
Really?
when it came out like right after the launch, if I recall correctly. But also like a lot of people were just buying Isaac on PC, right? The port on 3DS is actually kind of cool though. Like they give you a little notepad feature on the bottom screen, so like you can like write down if you find a pill and you I'm trying to think of like good examples. Like if you can't see the map because there's like a curse that will make it so you can't see the map, you can draw the map on the bottom screen just based on
That's
memory.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice that they added some functionality to the port,
Yeah, exactly.
even
Be
if it's just like a post-it note on the bottom screen.
Yeah, apparently it was like really tough to port, so it never got any of the DLC. But
Mm.
it is what it is. Switch has all the DLC now, but
Mm.
yeah, I'm curious to see what the next Isaac game is gonna be, because like there's the card game that people are still waiting on to have shipped, but I think Ed said like next Isaac game's like years and years in the future, because his next big release is like it's a game called Mugenics, which is I think it kind of plays like Fire Emblem, where it's about like crossbreeding cats and battling with the Fire Emblem style like battle system.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll do
That's
well.
a really addictive part of Fire Emblem. Any Fire Emblem game where you can have offspring and then they're like a mix of the parents, people just like lose their shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I think because of that, like this game's gonna do so well, just because like there's a bunch of crazy abilities that they're gonna give all these cats. Um, you know, strange to go
that's
from like knights and stuff to just cats, but
cats have really varied personalities.
you know what? You're right. You're right.
There's a wide range of potential personalities. Raising a cat is difficult. Anyway, he might be working on an Isaac MMO if he's taking that long.
I would I wouldn't doubt it. Like because he said that he brought a lot of stuff over that was in his ideas for Isaac 2 to the DLC, the last DLC for Isaac. Um which
Okay.
to be fair was really impressive. I'm surprised they got it all like done. But I think in an AMA recently he said next game he's interested in developing would be a first person shooter. Because Ed's never made
Mm.
a first person shooter. Isaac sounds like a very interesting fit for that. I just don't know about the right fit.
I mean, I wonder if it's going to be a bullet hell from first person, which just sounds like insane.
Yeah, like I think it could be done, but I don't.
I don't think a game like that exists, right? I don't think there's ever been an FPS bullet hell.
Well, that's the thing, because with bullet hells, like one of the biggest dependencies is that you're looking from a top-down perspective. Let it be Isaac or Gungeon or Undertale.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but like Isaac is like I could see an Isaac first-person shooter. I just couldn't see a bullet hell Isaac first-person shooter because like if you're obstructing that much from the player, like I can't see it. But then again,
Yeah.
maybe he'll do something different. That or the items in Isaac don't need to do the exact same things, but I do think an Isaac first person shooter could be really interesting. Again, provided it's not like a one-to-one remake. Like it's not like putting a camera in front of Isaac's face and it's just the regular old game.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. You have
Yeah,
stuff flying from behind you, and
exactly. I mean, there is a mod for Isaac that literally makes it that.
Jesus,
Yeah, it's
masochism.
yeah, for real.
The game is hard enough.
Yeah. Okay, but what else did you want to bring up?
What is your guys' opinion on Pokemon?
The
That's a
new
broad
ones.
question.
Yeah, okay. How do you guys feel about, well, for one, Arceus, Legends Arceus?
I loved it. I couldn't stop playing it. I could not put it down. And also, like, after soaking in the experience and like realizing what it is, I was also like, I cannot go back to playing a top-down Pokemon game again in my life after playing this.
See, I have that fear of myself for when Scarlet and Violet comes out, because I'm going to play them, but, like, am I going to be super disappointed because they're not going to be like Legends Arceus?
They are, though.
I don't know if they've confirmed that.
They showed gameplay in the field area, and it's the same as Arceus.
For
Is it the
Scarlet
same
and Violet?
open field? Is it the same open
Yeah.
field as Legends Arceus, or are they going to do another wild area like they did for Sword and Shield?
Oh man, it's been so long since the trailer. I would have to watch it again. But all I know is that at the end of the trailer, I was like, okay, the gameplay is the same as Legends Arceus. I forget if that was because they showed like so many zones that it was undeniable that like this is how it is in every zone.
I'm double checking
Or-
the trailer just to like because there is an open world aspect, but you got to remember Sword and Shield had this open world aspect, but
in
it-
one place.
yeah,
Only.
yeah, but like
And it was boring.
this it would be kind of similar to, at least I'm saying it could be. I'm not saying it is, but it could be similar to how Let's Go did it, where all the Pokemon were visible on the surface, but there wasn't really like a unique catching mechanic, right? Same way with Sword and Shield. Because what I'm kind of worried about is like this game already looks really far in development, right?
Yeah, it looked pretty polished.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I don't think they knew in time how popular Arceus was going to be, because it was definitely a risk for them. That's not something the Pokemon company does often, is like take risks. They like to play it safe.
Like, sure, they're playing it safe because like they make so much money everywhere else besides the game. So like in that way, it's playing it safe. But honestly, I think it's a risk to stick with the same formula whenever there's ever growing resentment against how little has changed. I think that's a risk, and like it's just sad to me that like the company would view making the Pokemon game that everyone wanted to play a risk. Like that's how they saw that. I think it's so dumb. And like it was such a success that like I don't know, that's it. Like
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on how far. Like, I totally see where you're coming from, and I kind of agree with that too. But at the same time, it's like people are maybe not like loving it, but they're comfortable with the current system. Is it old as all hell? Yes, it's been the fucking same since Red and Blue. But no one said they were tired of it in 2009. People have really started to have an outcry about it when Arceus came out, because they were like, "Oh my god, this is so much better." And I don't know how far along development is in Scarlet and Violet, because I think it's announced for end of the year, and that gives them roughly, let's say, 8 to 10 months to kind of figure out, like, okay, what do we want to do with this, or make changes. Like, okay, people are saying this, let's make these changes. But I don't think it would be that complicated to add like a reticle system, but who knows, right? Because I have no idea how.
Done it. They've already done it. And
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I guess if they have the Pokemon in the overworld, all they need is a reticle system, and that's pretty much it. I guess you hit the thing, and like I guess something important I just thought about is that like if they're gonna do it in the style of Arceus, they have like a lot more animations and behaviors for all the Pokemon, so that means there's gonna be a smaller dex, which is
Yeah,
totally fine with me.
I mean,
it's the same gameplay.
that's been a thing since, like, I don't know how. I think it was like 400 or so in Arceus, right? Give or take, a little under
No.
4.
No, Arceus was 240.
Oof.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Which was totally okay with me. Playing the game was fine because you get. I mean, who cares if there's 240 if like the experience of interacting with those Pokemon is much better.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
they're
I
not
could agree with
just,
that.
They're not just a loading screen. That's all they are in the other games, just a loading screen and then a sprite. Like you get way more. They have behaviors, they have like patterns. Some of them are rare. You have to find their hiding spots. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's a lot more interaction, and every Pokemon feels different.
Yes.
Where some fans kind of differ is they say, like, oh, I have this Metagross that has been with me since I played on Ruby and Sapphire, and I've transferred it all the way through, and I can't use my favorite Pokemon Metagross. Oh, well, how about Steelix? I can't use Steelix either. Speaking of, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl came out in November, and they still don't have Pokemon Home support.
Yeah, like
Really?
I don't really want to talk about Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl because it's such a letdown. That was the most disappointing game that the Pokemon Company ever released since, oh god, X
Ever?
and Y maybe.
That's a W for changing the formula. Let's fucking go, man.
Yeah.
That's a big lesson learned for Game Freak. Thank God.
Well, the other things was it wasn't even developed like wholly by Game Freak, because I don't remember the other
That's
company,
right.
but also like the art style was like they didn't have to go chibi for the overworld, and it felt like because of the grid system they kind of went lazy. Like, okay, I get it, Omega Ruby, did it like that before, but like Sword and Shield did away with the grid system. I'm pretty sure Sun and Moon was pretty, already getting away from the grid system too. Um, yeah, so between the chibi stuff, limiting the decks to 493, and not even adding like the evolutions like Sylveon, for example, right? It's an evolution of Eevee, because that's what they did for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon remakes.
They really did. That's upsetting.
Yeah, for real. And
that's really disappointing.
And considering, like, I think Arceus is the first game to use new models, because Sword and Shield used the 3DS models. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl used the 3DS models. Like, you're just importing models. Like, I wondered, like, is it really that hard, or are they lazy, right? Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know much about programming, but I'm gonna say like I don't think it's too hard to recreate the zones in a 3D way and give you like 8-way run. I don't think that's too hard.
Yeah, I mean they
pretty simple. They're just like from 2D sprite games.
Yeah, I mean they did give 8-way, run, but it was still on a grid system. And it's like I don't think it's a huge risk to like, get away from the art style for a new game, Like, I don't think it would have been that incredibly tough, because it's not. Like, then again, maybe I'm wrong, because maybe some of the dungeons, but even then, you could have just done a transition screen, because, like, you know what I mean, where it's like you see a house from the outside, and then you go in, and it's bigger than it could possibly be. Like, does that make sense? Like you're playing Pokemon Red and Blue, right? And you go in the Pokemon Center, and realistically, you would have like 2 blocks of room to move left and right, but you go and it warps you to a different area in the game. Yeah, like they could have just done that for any of the interior areas because like I'm trying to think like was Omega Ruby and Sapphire like a 1-to-1? Like I honestly feel like it did more to change the map.
So
Oh
it
God.
did a little bit, but they also added a ton of extra stuff.
That's true. The fact that there was no like platinum episode or like platinum content, like are you kidding me? And
Oh.
let me say this. I am sick and tired of two versions just to rake in more money for the people that want to catch them all. Like, no. Release one game. Like, holy
You're a
like
collector, aren't you? You're a completionist.
I am. I am.
Yeah,
But
I
also,
see. I
it's
see.
it's like you're gonna scam the completionists by releasing two copies where there's like six Pokemon exclusive. Like I don't fall for that anymore. I just don't
All you need
care.
to complete it is friends, Leave. That's all you need.
Yeah, but I have this like weird thing where like each one has to have my trainer ID. Otherwise, no, they're not mine. It's like
Oh,
that's not my
wow.
son. That's not my daughter. But now
Who
I
are you?
just
When did you get here?
I just play ROM hacks instead, because there's so many that are like catch them all and have additional content. And yeah,
And higher difficulty. More challenge.
exactly. I would play Renegade Platinum over Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl any day of the week. Any day of the week.
On the other side of the coin, I want to like praise Arceus one more time, and not like shit on the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, which
Yeah,
I actually don't get to do because I've never played them. I just avoided them.
like imagine
Uh,
imagine Arceus has a companion game, Pokemon Legends Mew, and it's the exact same game, but Mew is Arceus now.
yeah, it was really, especially for the decks being so small. It was really nice to be able to catch all the Pokemon by yourself. It was cool that it was like you could do everything in the game single player. That was really cool.
Yeah,
But like one of the things about Arceus that improved on Pokemon so much was the sense of scale.
that's
Pokemon
true.
were to scale for the first time in the series, and it sounds like it's so simple, but it adds so much to the experience.
Yeah, seeing them to scale for your
Uh,
character because I've seen gameplay of it. It just definitely does look so cool, and like having a whale lord, but for whatever reason, it's like scaled down to be like the size of a car.
yeah, yeah. It should be a Wailord should be bigger, I guess. I can't remember Wailords being in the game
Wailord's
actually.
like the
I don't.
fucking biggest one. Like it's
Yeah.
I know there's like mods that will make it like turn off the scaling and like you just see like a little tiny bit of Wailord. Um, yeah, yeah. Like I
And
get
just
why
like
they do the
compare
scaling.
the atmosphere of Arceus compared to the atmosphere of Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl is so like vastly different.
Yeah, yeah. I feel you big time. Um,
Like Diamond and Pearl neutered the atmosphere to make it all chibi when like I think the story of the game and the setting and the legendaries and all that stuff is not that like cheery or bright or bubbly really.
yeah.
And like
It's a real
the whole tone of
shame.
yeah. And then Arceus captured the tone of all those legendaries so well, and all the legendary quests in post game were amazing. And also, Arceus really hyped up the legendaries with the post game quests too. I
Yeah.
was like, I had never been that excited to have like a interaction with a legendary Pokemon in a long time since like Mewtwo in Gen 1.
Honestly, like I think the ultimate Pokemon game could be um an MMO, and I could definitely see Nintendo being able to like make this like subscription based, right? But it's like you start it, you have Gen 1, but it plays like Arceus, right? And then later they add all the Johto Pokemon, and then there's like a new Johto area, right?
Oh boy.
Like that sounds like I always prefer buying games over subscription based. I just think like if Nintendo was to do that, they would just do subscription based. But doesn't that sound like such a cool way to play Pokemon where they're like kind of like releasing new regions and waves, or it doesn't even have to be the region. Like they could just release like 200 Pokemon at random. Like it could, like if Arceus got DLC and it's like a new island and they add like 150 other Pokemon that weren't originally in the game.
That would be really, really wild. Yeah, I mean, the idea of like MMO expansions fits into Pokemon so well because they have 1,000 of them or something.
Yeah, I think the only reason they don't do it is because like I think Switch is gonna probably be the longest lifespan for a console because I think Switch will last maybe like 7 or 8 years until it starts to get phased out.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah, yeah, we're 5 years just came up this year, so I think like we're getting due for a Pro because again these are like I don't want to call it like a portable souped up PS3, but like I don't know, like is it close? What do you guys think? Is it closer to a PS3 or a PS4?
The Switch,
PS3.
PS3, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's what
don't
I'm
think
thinking
it's close
too.
to a PS4. Yeah. I'm not a hardware guy, but
Yeah, no, I am a hardware guy, and it's not close to PS4.
well, confirmed.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that it can like the games it can run. Like the fact that they got Doom Eternal to run on the Switch, um, at 30 FPS most of the time is just so crazy to me.
I mean, you have to tip your hats off to the studio that's porting it, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
People are pretty motivated since the Switch was so successful on launch.
Yeah, I think if Valve gets into more marketing, like the Steam Deck does have a chance to take over, but it's like the Steam Deck
Ooh.
still feels like a really niche product.
I have a friend that bought one recently. He was extremely hyped for it, and he talks about it a lot. He absolutely loves his Steam Deck.
Like,
Yeah, I really want to get a Steam Deck. I'm really wanting to get one.
It's a mini PC, man.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's
On
what
top
people are
of being a
saying.
gaming console, and like probably having the biggest library of any console that could ever be released in the history of the world. Like,
Yeah,
that's a good value, man.
I mean, then again, like devs have to manually update it for Steam Deck compatibility, but I think the library's at like a
Oh, that's
thousand
right.
games already, right? Something like that. Big.
I don't know.
Crazy like that, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I think yeah, Dusk just got an update for Steam or that or it just got approved. I don't know if the update's out, but I know it got approved because Dave Oshry posted about it on Twitter. Um and yeah, that's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like I think the game I'd be most excited to play on the go probably would be Devil May Cry 5.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Hard to play on like a train or a bus though.
I mean, you say that like bus, yeah, but like on a train ride, like a long one at least, because like when I used to take the train a lot, I would play it on my school laptop, with a controller plugged in.
That's a bigger screen though. Like small screen and shaking is pretty hard.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, because
Like
the laptop had heft, so I didn't have to worry that much about like the screen shaking that much. But like in my hands,
that
you
makes a
know,
lot of sense. Yeah.
yeah.
Whenever I play like a handhold console on a car ride or something, like sometimes I can only do it for like 20 minutes before I get a headache.
Yeah, I feel you. Like I used to be able to play games for so long in the car. And like a while ago, like I think like a
Yeah.
year ago, I was showing a game to a friend and I just started to get like car sick. And I was like, I never get car sick. Like what the heck is happening to me?
Dude, that's a good point because I could do it forever when I was a kid and I didn't care at all. And for some reason now it's painful.
Yeah, I swear like kids have like higher like puke immunity.
Yeah.
At least in the
Capacity for brain damage.
yeah.
It was all worth it. Those 300 hours on Pokemon Crystal.
We're at 57 minutes. Is there one more topic you guys want to bring up and talk about?
And Pokemon was a good topic. We could probably talk about that forever. And you made me want to go back and watch that trailer now. Just to see
Yeah,
if it
no,
really is the same
I do.
gameplay.
I mean, I'm gonna say it. I'm not excited about Scarlet and Violet just because I don't feel like it's gonna be different, and I really hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, and I end up buying it. And it's like
Uh,
Arceus.
This is why I have to watch the trailer again, because after watching the trailers, I was like, this is Legends Arceus. I'm so excited. So I have to find out for sure. I'm definitely not buying it until I know it's the same gameplay as Arceus.
Well, I don't think we're gonna find out till after the summer. Like, I don't think we're gonna hear anything about um Scarlet and Violet until like August or September. I think September is usually when they, announce details regarding their heavy hitting titles, right?
Yeah, usually around there.
I wasn't even pre-ordering Pokemon games anymore. I think the last one I pre-ordered was Sun and Moon. I guess, yeah, I think that was the last one. because I just can't get excited for mainline Pokemon anymore.
Yeah, I feel you.
Think about getting Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. I was just like, no way am I playing that.
The only reason I wanted Brilliant Diamond Shine Pearls because Gen 4 was my first gen, like Platinum was my first game. This the difference between emotions that Lego Star Wars gave me, because Lego Star Wars was my first video game ever to own, versus, Platinum being my first Pokemon game. Brilliant Diamond made me feel like no nostalgia at all. Versus Lego Star
Damn.
Wars is constantly make me feel nostalgic. Constantly.
Well,
Like,
that's a sign that one like had a pretty inspired dev team and the other didn't, I guess.
yeah, well, I mean, I don't think they should have outsourced it in the first place. It's like, like
Yeah.
it's too faithful. I guarantee, like, put like half the amount of people that are fans, they would make a way better game and probably give it ray trace lighting too.
Yeah, Sonic kind of proved that.
Yeah,
Where there's passion, there's like good creative stuff.
yeah.
Without passion, you're just gonna make. I mean, it's sad that they kind of just ported it.
Like Mania
I don't,
is so good. Like Sonic Mania is such a good game, and you can see like the passion behind it and how dedicated they were. And then BDSP just feels soulless.
I hope someone gets behind the idea of an open world Sonic where the open world is almost like a skate park. That sounds really cool.
Have you heard of Green Hill Paradise?
No, no.
You should look it up after this. It's a fan game where it's Green Hill Zone, but it's giant and it's physics based, and it's like you said, it's like a skate park.
That sounds cool as hell. Is it fully released or is it in progress?
It's just a demo. I don't know if it was ever
Okay.
planned to be a full release. I haven't heard anything on it lately, but it's just one demo, but it's really fun because like your first goal is just to get to the end, and it feels like kind of like treacherous at first because you don't know what you're doing, right? And you're going to hang in the physics. And then the second time you do it and you're finding do you remember the elemental shields from the classic games?
I didn't play Sonic when I was a kid.
Okay. So just to wrap it up quickly, in the classic games there was elemental shields, and like there's a thunder one, and that one gave you an extra bounce. Like if you press the jump button in the air, you would jump again. There was a fire shield, and it like boosted you forward really fast, and the other one was a bubble shield, and you would bounce on the ground, and if you kept bouncing you go higher and higher. And this demo brings them back. And using the fire shield is like so satisfying because you have to really kind of take your
Build up
time.
speed.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole
Yeah,
focus.
yeah.
And the fire
So it
shield
gives
just
you
makes
like a
you go.
shortcut.
Fire shield just makes you go so fast.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Imagine it was like Mario Odyssey esque, and you go into like a zone out of the open world, and they have like little throwbacks where it's like small 2D sections. Or so I don't know. It sounds awesome.
I really hope Frontiers is like that. If we have time, I do actually have one more thing that I want to bring up, and that is game anniversaries, because I feel like lately, like I think the big three ones that I think of are actually big four: Sonic, Zelda, Devil May Cry, and Persona. And Sonic's has been not great so far. It's really going to depend on Frontiers, because that is like the final bang for the 30th anniversary of Sonic. Origins is not that impressive so far from what I'm seeing. Maybe it'll release and my opinion will change. But as it stands right now, we're still months away from release, and it looks not amazing. And then Devil May Cry, all they got was a unique logo, and that's it. There's no new content other than the mobile game from China coming out over here on PC and phones. But the mobile games seem to be kind of like it's gotcha. It's like
It has to be. Yeah, it's a mobile game.
well, it literally is. Like the way it works is you pay money and you roll, and your weapon damage is determined basically on rarity. So it's like if you have a common I'm trying to think of a Devil May Cry weapon, Agni and Rudra. If you have a common Agni and Rudra, it'll do like low damage, but if you have an epic Agni and Rudra, it'll do high damage. And that's all it is. which doesn't sound too bad, but I'm just wondering, like, as somebody who loves Devil May Cry, am I going to get frustrated because, you know, my Agni and Rudra is doing, like, no damage because I have one epic Ebony and Ivory, and it's just going to make me use the guns all the time. Persona is, it is what it is, you know, like, I'm not disappointed, and we're still in the midst of it. Seeing a re-release of Ultimax was really cool. But in terms of big ticket items, like I'm just really hoping we get Persona 3 remake.
Yeah, Persona 3 remake would be my ultimate hope. I would be okay with Persona 6, but I would much rather have the Persona 3 remake. That was my first Persona, and that was my favorite.
Yeah. I just want to be able to enjoy Persona 3 in a more modern way, because Persona 3 and 4 compared to 5 is like, it's so vastly different. Like, they do, if you told me these games were not from the same series, I would believe you. You know, at least at like a glance, right?
It's such a jump. It's a massive, massive leap.
Yeah. And I think, like, if they took Persona 3, remade it, because I know they have a lot of new assets, because they made new assets for the dancing game, and also maybe made it so Tartarus wasn't always random, it could be good. But then again, I've only played like a couple hours of Persona 3. Like, I think I made it to the first boss in Tartarus and then gave up. Yeah.
I have a feeling it's too hard to remake gameplay systems for these games, and that's too much of an endeavor. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I mean, then again, they could just copy 5, because, like, I know 5 changed some stuff, but I don't think anybody would be mad if they borrowed the good, not even borrowed, just took the good stuff from 5 and added it to Persona 3. Like, extra
What do you
elements is
mean,
cool.
like tag teaming, or
Yeah, tag teaming, extra elements. Because I know, I'm pretty sure Nuclear and Psy were both new in 5, right?
well, they were old elements from Persona 1 and 2 in older SMT games, but they took them out in later SMT, and then they just added them back in Persona 5.
Okay. Well, even still, adding them in, I think it adds more variety, and it makes me feel like battling is more of a guessing game, and encourages me to use more skills.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Persona 3 did have multiple different weapon or physical elements, I guess.
Like slashing, blunt,
and
thrust.
pierce or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I could actually, I could see them, like, if they forced it so, like, you know, let's take Joker for example, and it was like you could give Joker the knife, or you could give him like a pole, or you could give him like a bat. Like, that would be like a cool way to kind of bring that back. So you'd go into a dungeon and be like, oh, a lot of these enemies are weak to blunt, so you give your whole party bats. That could be really cool.
Yeah,
that'd be great. It would also be an opportunity for more character customization for the main character. That'd be fun.
Yeah, Persona 3 Fez had where you could give your main character like any weapon, but the portable remake took that off, and like that's very, very sad, because that was a very fun mechanic.
Yeah, you like do a build. You actually like make a build, or it adds to the build. It's another way to differentiate the build.
Gives you another layer of customization rather than just your personas.
And it sucks because he's not even going to say a word for the entire game anyway.
Right.
You need to have some character. Like,
In the original game, did he even say the names of the persona on summoning, or no?
He said some of them, like they do now.
Oh, okay. Well, I know Joker. He says every single name.
Yeah, it wasn't every name.
I've been kind of, I don't know if this is like the wrong opinion to have.
It is.
Like, what if they did Persona 1 or 2 remake instead?
Oh my god, so that's very touchy. I don't know, have you ever even seen Persona 1 and 2 be played? Have you seen gameplay?
No. Oh yeah, they have the corridor dungeon things, right?
Yeah.
Like the first person, like
So Persona 1 had that. It was in first person.
Okay.
Persona 2, your character actually walked around, but it was like you were walking around in one of those first person dungeons. But Persona 1 did a like kind of a grid system with the battling. So it's kind of
Oh,
like Fire Emblem, where you
yeah,
had to get your character like so close to the enemy. And then Persona
yeah.
2 took that away to just make it be just a straight up turn based.
Interesting.
Yeah, like that was not. It wasn't good. I've tried to
That's
go.
like that's more reason I want remakes, so they're
Yeah.
updated and like playable, and we can like. I just want to know selfishly what the first Persona was like and what the original vision kind of was like. You know, I'm curious.
I mean,
And
I
I
can tell you like a story overview like another time. We don't need to get into that
sure.
right now.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, yeah. I think they're more grim and closer to like the grimness of SMT is what I've heard. But like
yeah,
the reason I thought they might be remade is because the new models in SMT5 are so realistic looking that they wouldn't fit in a more like happy setting, if that makes sense. They would fit really well in like a grim setting or like a post-apocalyptic kind of setting, which I think is what Persona 1 at least was. Well, that's it.
it wasn't actually. It was just kind of a normal school thing where demons are invading, but like the world
Mm,
didn't end.
okay.
But yeah, in the old Personas 1 and 2, they actually called them demons.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. Like they were actually straight up referred to as demons, which is
Yeah, Persona 3 was the turning point. I kind of would
yeah.
just want, I wish 1 and 2 got resurrected from the grave. That's all.
As if they changed the battle system, or if they very heavily updated it, because
Yeah.
those grid-based games like Fire Emblem, like I love Fire Emblem, but it needs to be modernized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think a lot of games that have a lot of opportunity to see some really good updates. We are at about 70 minutes now. Do we want to wrap it up here?
I don't have anything else unless you guys do.
If you want to wrap it up, I have an idea.
Tell us your idea.
Jay, Leave, you said the first video game you ever owned.
Yeah,
And
Lego Star
I thought
Wars.
it'd be cool if we could all say what all of ours are.
Yeah, okay,
The
go
first
for it.
games we ever owned.
Yeah, the first games we ever owned. You can go first, Cable.
The first game I ever remember owning was for PlayStation 1. It was Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage.
Oh, stick.
Yeah, and it's the first game that I can remember heavily playing. When I was very little, my dad owned a Genesis, and I have very short little memories of us going to a video game, or not a video game, like a movie rental place, kind of like Blockbuster or whatever, and renting Genesis games, and then we would go home and play
Nice.
them. But I cannot tell you what any game it is we played.
Okay, so Spyro 2, pretty much.
What about
That's a
yours?
good one. Mine was Super Mario World, I think, for my old Game Boy Pocket. It's the
Nice.
one where Wario is the final boss.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, wait. Was it in black and white?
Yeah, it was in black and white. 'Cause it was on the
Yeah.
Game Boy Pocket.
Super Mario Land 2, the Golden Coins.
It's not 2. I thought it was just Super Mario. It's either Land or World, and it's the 6 golden coins or something like that.
Yeah, Super Mario Land 2, the 6 Golden Coins.
Oh, it's Land 2? What was Land
Yeah.
1? All right, well, it was that one, yeah.
Land 1 was just Land 1. They didn't even give it a subtitle. They said, ah, screw it. It was the one where he had the Super Ball. It was like the kind of like it was how do I put it? It was like have you ever played Mario Maker 2?
No.
Okay, well it's like the ball would bounce at 45-degree angles. So if you bounce it on the floor, it would go upright at a 45-degree angle, and then if it hit a wall, it would go up left at a 45-degree angle. You know what I mean? Like it never.
Man.
It was kind of cool though. Like it was different from the Fire Flower, and something else that was cool.
Like such a distant memory. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like sometimes it'd have like little, how do I put it, like tight blocks, and there'd be coins in between, and Mario wouldn't be able to like fit in between the blocks, but if you shot the Super Ball, any coins that the Super Ball touched would be collected. So it'd be like
So
really
you just
satisfying to
covered
like,
the block. Yeah,
yeah, you got it.
that sounds sick.
It was pretty heckin' sick.
So, I think that's gonna be it.
I have
but,
one
you know,
more question for you, Cable. Spyro 2 remake.
Say that again.
Spyro 2 remake.
So they did, modernize all of the first trilogy of Spyro games.
And did you ever play
Yeah,
it?
that's right.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I don't think I ever finished it, but I did play it, and I need to go back and play it. There are just so many games.
So little
And
time.
Yeah, basically, so many games, and Elden Ring is here, and I can't stop playing it. We did forget to mention, it's not always going to just be the three of us. There is another core member.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Jupiter Dog on Twitter is somebody else that will be. They have a little bit more of a hectic schedule than us. Then again, I think we all kind of have hectic schedules. So Jupiter Dog is a core member, is not in for this one, but will be hopefully in for one soon. I'm sure there's gonna be times where I won't be able to make it, or Cable won't be able to make it, or Beef won't be able to make it. But they'll still happen. Also, despite the name Leavecast, it is not it's not my thing. It's just a name that we thought was sounded cool because Jesus, how long do we spend like brainstorming names?
Honestly, every name that you guys thought of, I thought was super silly. When the first name that I think was said in the when we were discussing was Leavecast, and that was the best name that was said.
Simple and rustic.
Yeah. And it's not named after Leave, it's just called Leavecast. And we just like the name.
Yeah. And I can also just tell people like, yeah, this is my thing, so make sure you subscribe to my no, I'm kidding. But
I mean, I figure if anyone's gonna post these, you're doing it.
Well, I'll give you guys like, because I'm sure there's gonna be times when I'm not available, but the three of you are available, so you guys will be getting like access to the channel. I'll be posting the first one, but you guys will also get access. So if it's ever like, oh, I can't make it, then one of you guys can throw something together. I'm sure worst case scenario, if one of you can't get some gameplay together, I can send you some gameplay, but that's getting too meta. Anyways, is there anything else that we need to bring up?
What console did you play Lego Star Wars on?
The original Xbox. It was my
Oh wow.
yeah, interesting first console, but definitely like I never played any exclusives on it as far as I'm aware, but man, did I love the controller at the time. Like, and it wasn't like the no, it was like the one that's more like the 360 controller, because like they had the original that was like everything was like an oval, and then they made one where the buttons were all circles, and that one felt so good.
Yeah, the original one is like a giant watermelon. It's insane.
I don't think I've heard it described so good. Thanks for watching, everybody. You can follow me on my socials, which is pretty much Leave3D just about everywhere. Primarily active on Twitch and Twitter. Would you guys like to drop your socials?
Follow me on Twitch. It is at theanimal189.
Follow both of these guys on Twitch. They're both great. And don't follow me on Twitter. I just talk about Smash 64.
You can also follow Jupiter Dog on Twitter at JupiterDAWG. Anyways, folks, thank you for listening. We'll see you guys in the next one.
But yeah.
Nice.